Buenos dias. I am throwing a big Cinco de Mayo party, and I'm going to need 200 of your best cupcakes, decorated with the Mexican flag. It looks is something like this. Welcome to the Irrelevant Podcast. We are on episode 10.
That was really fucking corny.
I was watching Despicable Me with my mom, so that's what reminded me of that.
How innocent.
Dude, that shit is some fucking memes, man.
Yeah, the whole movie was a big meme.
Yeah, no, even the second one. I think the second one is even more meme.
God, it's been so long since I've seen that bullshit.
Bro, I kind of like it. It's pretty meme. That's why it's good. You know, like in the way that Shrek's good.
I feel like Shrek has more of a better story arc, though.
Well,
It's not as dumb.
True.
It's more...
Well, no, and also Shrek does have better memes, but
Yeah, for sure.
like Shrek is just, it's never gonna die.
It will never die.
It won't.
All right.
Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
Oh, that's a fucking throwback. I forgot all about that.
Yep, that's what ruins every one of Gen Z's minds. But I think we don't need to spend time talking about that because everyone listening to this probably knows what that is.
I'm sure a lot of people don't know what that is because it's been a hot minute, but, you know, watch the whole series, guys. Open your minds. It's a very insightful program.
Well, no, we don't want to bring it back.
Anywho, let's jump right into this. Did you want to do yours first or mine first?
I think, who picked last time for the order?
I think,
Did we talk about Warp Rider first last time?
No, I think we talked about Coldplay first.
Oh, okay, then we'll do yours first.
Okay. So,
do you want to, you give an intro to your...
So I decided to throw Will into the deep end. Well, not really the deep end. Just a little bit less conventional than the ones I've been playing. And I chose Deftones, and I could not figure out what album I wanted to do. So I picked I picked some of my favorite songs, kind of made a best of little playlist to throw them into. And Deftones is one of those bands where they have a very, very specific sound that you either love or hate. So that's why I was very curious to see how you do with this one.
Well, you're saying about the loving and hating. I did not love this or hate this.
You're in the middle?
I certainly... Well, no. I lean more towards the love, obviously, because, like, it's not direct... Like, it's kind of hard to be, like, directly in the middle, if you know what I'm saying. Some things are like that, but I don't think this is something where I am in the middle. It's obviously... But it's not one... It's not this, that, or in the middle. It's kind of just, like... It is what I would put into the category of, like, yes, it is sophisticated, like, well-constructed music. But this is nothing that I'm going to be, like, rushing back to listening to.
Right.
If you know what I'm saying. But at the same time, it's not anything particularly negative.
So the reason why I thought it'd be interesting for you to listen to this is because they're one of those bands where when I first listened to them, I really didn't like them at all. I thought a lot of it was, this was a long time ago. I don't remember why I didn't like them. I didn't really get what they were. Well, I guess I got what they were going for. I just didn't like it. But the reason why I love them so much is you have to be in a very, very specific mood to listen to them. Especially a lot of their.
Why didn't you tell me? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no. The reason why I thought this would be really funny for you to listen to because they have a very erotic sound and it's like baby making music to the max. So it's like I have fucked the Deftones so many times.
I was not expecting you to tell me that. But
you don't hear that?
I listened to this in the living room. And well, so my mom was cleaning the room and reading like her magazines or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, hey, I need to listen to this for the podcast. Do you mind?" And she's like, as long as it's not like, you know, metal or something. I'm like,
oh my God,
well,
you played it for your mom?
It wasn't that bad.
That just makes what I just said even funnier.
Yeah, I know, and not in the way, because that's, no. But...
Oh my God, that's fucking funny.
No, but really? That's what you get out of this music?
Yes, dude. Okay, so this is what I'm going to say to you, because I wanted you to listen to this because I remember when we were talking about all of your previous mindsets before, you have not been exposed to that type of atmosphere and that type of energy. I'm sure you feel that, you know, for some people, but when you actually experience it with somebody, it takes that mood really higher.
Well, what you're really trying to say is that Will, you're a fucking, you're a.
This is not an incels type of music.
You're an incel, Nintendo playing, Dungeons and Dragons type, who listens to. Actually, what do incels listen to? I don't really know.
Probably a lot of dubstep.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
No, but so this is one of those bands where it's like, like if I'm on a long drive at night, or if I'm thinking about, shit that I'm sad about, or like I said, like I've been in the moment with people and had this playing, and it's such a good mood enhancer in the background. So that's why I was very curious to see if you could hear any of that in any of the music.
I still can't get over the fact that that's what you get out of it.
This is why I'm very fascinated to hear what you got out of this, because I wanted to preface that.
Do you get anything else, or is this
No.
kind of mainly what you get out of it?
Oh, I get a lot more. I chose it for that reason. Like, there's a lot of intricacies and dynamics in their music that I love, especially with their guitar and the droniness and the sounds of all this stuff. But
Right.
he's kind of an interesting animal. He's one of my favorite vocalists.
What's his name?
Chino Moreno. His name's funny because he's half Chinese, half Mexican.
Nice.
I don't think that's his actual name, but I know that's what he goes by.
It's like his stage name. Yeah.
Yeah, or his nickname that he just took to be a stage name. But he's one of those dudes, like, he's very hit or miss live, and he does a lot of experimental stuff with his voice, and sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes it really fucking works. But I love people that are very creative, and I think he's super creative with his voice. And I also, like I said, they have a very just late night atmosphere, and that's really the best way I can describe them.
Yeah, no, the late night atmosphere, I do agree with you. I think that's probably their best strength, because I loved the songs like the UDD or whatever. I don't remember like the full name. That had a really nice, just like chill, like I am driving home at 1 a.m, just that. Like all of those chill tracks I really liked.
Yeah, and
Which one was it? Beware, I thought was a good one. Same thing with Sex Tape. Yeah. I didn't write the name of the titles, so
they're kind of throwing it at you at that point, buddy.
Yeah, but I don't know. I never crossed my mind because I'm not thinking of those things.
That's what I'm saying. But on that note, so that up, down, left, right, whatever bullshit. It's a cheat code for a video game, but I don't remember what it was. That's why it's a long, weird title.
Like on the computer or something?
Or PlayStation. I think it's a Grand Theft Auto cheat or something. I don't quite remember. But yeah, so like I've listened to that song driving home by myself late at night a lot, and that's one of the songs I actually picked for that reason. It's such a good, smooth driving song, and the fact that it's all instrumental is cool, because you have to have a really interesting instrumental to kind of grab you in that way to really feel the music without any vocals. So I always think they do a good job with that.
Yeah, they also especially on Sex Tape, they had like, I got these really good ocean vibes. It was really nice. I was like, ooh, I am really just like getting into this.
Yeah, so that one reminds you of sitting on a beach at night.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So this is my I I have an inappropriate story to tell about one song later if you if you do talk about this one. I have a couple, actually no, I have one story about this band and then one story about the Gipsy King album. But the one thing that I will say is that like this one does take a couple listens, and then you'll just kind of get it like that. And like I said, like as soon as you date somebody or like do stuff with somebody, throw this on in the background. I guarantee it's a fun time. You don't even have to be doing anything. You can just like lay on your hood of your car under some, you know what I mean, or just sit and chill outside. You know what I mean? It's just
which, if your will, isn't gonna happen.
Oh, it'll happen. But I'm telling you,
Will is a fucking incel.
I'm telling you right now, like, this is fucking, like, it really does enhance the mood.
Do you think this is the best thing for that kind of context?
Hands down.
Like,
okay, so I'm sure there's other types of music I mean, the cheesiest one is like, smooth soul or some shit. That's what everybody really plays. There's that kind of soulful jazz. But I think in the context of it's because like a lot of their music feels like a very slow build up and a lot of tension, and there's always a very smooth release, especially with how catchy their choruses are and how slow and somber and how moody a lot of their shit is, especially with the instruments as well.
That's something I need to go back, and I'll probably notice that on a second time, because I thought a lot of this was honestly and I know Maynard was wait, which track was Maynard on?
He was on Passenger.
Right, yeah, because at first I was like, are they like copying Maynard? And I was like, oh wait, that is Maynard.
Yeah.
Actually I thought
that's the one I have a story on, by the way.
Okay, yeah, just tell me that in a second. The opening track, I was kind of like, I don't know.
Which one was that one?
I don't remember. It was, oh yeah, I forget this isn't an album.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Sorry, it was Digital Bath.
Okay.
I thought to myself, I was like, this does literally kind of sound like a digital bath in a way. It's kind of interesting because it was like kind of psychedelic. The grungy bass was interesting. It makes me think about what you were talking about.
Yeah, that's one of those songs.
More now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Knife Party. The drum beat was really cool.
Yeah. Did you like that? Sorry,
the screaming. The screaming in the background, that was really well done. I liked how it like worked into the harmony.
Yeah.
And my favorite song was probably Knife Party, Passenger, or the UD thing or Sex Tape. One of those four.
Nice. Yeah.
All the other ones like were very interesting, and they had like elements or speaking of like the elements, I thought they implemented a lot of different kind of genres, because they kind of sounded like Tool in some songs, and then in some songs they sounded like kind of Nirvana, grungy, and then in some songs it was just kind of like post rock,
Yeah. Yeah, they do a lot of implementations of a lot of different stuffs very well. Besides the ones that are your favorite, I didn't want to because they have a lot more songs that are like those. I just tried to pick something different to kind of give you the whole scope of their catalog. I picked a lot of stuff with like the catchiest choruses, and I guess I've seen a lot of people do reviews of the albums that those songs are on, and like some people, like I said, really love them or just think that they are missing something. But going back to Digital Bath, that's, like I said, another one of those songs where it's really good in the moment with somebody. And it's also really fun to play because it's simple, but the chord, it's only like 2 chords or a couple chords throughout the whole song, but they make it ride the whole way through, and it's really interesting the way they do it. And then just the effects that they use are really cool, like the really watery, flangery laser sound in the break, and then like the really screeching harmonics and back into the distorted riff. I really like Deftones' distortion and a lot of the effects that they use on the guitar. It's very droney, and that's what I like about them because I like a lot of the psychedelic doom stuff. Knife Party is a really cool one too. That it's also a good late night driving song, but like with the screaming, like I'm saying, he does a really cool experimental stuff with the vocals, and then the really high pitched like screeching that he does during the break of the song. That part, do you remember?
Oh yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Oh, that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, that really high pitched screeching is really, really cool.
Yeah, but for me, other than that, I mean, the singer didn't seem like anything special. He just kind of seemed like there's a lot of other just kind of bands, and I'm not, because that's the thing. I mean, obviously my knowledge of this kind of music is not as like sophisticated as yours, I guess. I'll put it that way.
I will say there is nobody that really sings the way that he does. It's very, very difficult because he does a lot of in between like tritone type of things, or like the notes that he hits is very strange. Like it's a very specific note that he hits. Like he's not really
you like the tritones and like the Hijaz Maqam and like the Middle Eastern singing and stuff like that.
Kind of, but his pitch doesn't really waver like that. He really it's just the way that his inflection is very unique. Nobody really sings the way he does. Like the grungy, like, fucked up vocals and like the kind of fuzzy mic, and some of the structure is very similar, but nobody sings the actual way that he sings. Like you can listen to a bunch of bands in this genre, and if it comes after them, it's kind of copying his style. So, I mean, Deftones have been around since like the early 90s. Like they're not a new band. So like they're kind of been the pioneer of this style of genre, because they were also kind of new metal. Like a lot of their first couple albums were really rap centric. Not really.
Or what are they? Are they like?
A lot of them like I said, a lot of them people consider their earlier albums new metal, and then they kind of get vibier as the albums progress, and then they just kind of devolve. I don't know. You can kind of call them also alternative. It's the same thing with Tool. They just kind of have their own specific style.
Right.
But yeah, Passenger is one of my favorites. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, the Maynard. I mean, he just the presence of Maynard just makes everything better.
I was about to say, did you like his part on there?
I did. Yeah, I really did, and that's why, because I remember you had told me that he was featured on one of the songs, but I didn't know which one it was.
I thought I told you.
And so I don't remember if you said which one, but even if you did, I didn't remember. So I was kind of just waiting and like anticipating when he was gonna come in for like, because I didn't know which song it was.
Right.
Yeah.
So did you? I'm sure you didn't, because you only did one listen. Did you really listen to the lyrics at all? Because it's kind of buried.
Yeah, that's actually something I didn't get much into, and I would be willing to do that for. Okay, so is that gonna make me listening to it in the living room even more awkward?
That's why. So like I mean, you can listen to this with your parents, and they're not gonna catch it because like the vocals are so mixed into the song. Like and also like they're not really.
Yeah, because I didn't catch much of the lyrics.
Yeah.
The only lyric I remember off the top of my head now is like, "I look at the cross" or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember which song it was part of. But.
So, yeah, like I said, they're like, I mean, he does cuss in some of the lyrics, but like I said, it's so buried in the mix and the way they do it. Like, it doesn't really stand out. So, like, you're not going to hear something off guard unless you watch a lyric video, then you can hear it. Or if you listen to it enough, kind of like, so like, I know the lyrics just by listening to it. But, like, the first couple of times, kind of like Tool, I was like, I don't know what the lyrics are. But what I was going to say was...
And then you go to the prison sex lyrics and say, oh.
Exactly.
That's the lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. But so a lot of their lyrics is like they have a lot of sexual undertones in their lyrics, but also they have a lot of horror. So it's like Digital Bath is about like, you know, drowning a girl in a bath with a toaster kind of shit.
Yeah, because
yeah, and
believe
then
it or not, my mom was kind of listening to this and she was like, oh, this isn't that bad.
yeah, their song, like some of their songs are very smooth and they're very commercial ready, not in the sense of like it's very commercially written, but like you can be played on the radio.
Palatable,
exactly. And there's not really weird structure to it. It's a very simple structure that they follow, even though they kind of drag out parts a little bit. But yeah, so like Changes about...
but it is fairly traditional in terms of like songs. Yeah, song structure.
A lot of their lyrics are kind of dark, but not in like a shocking way. It just it works. It really fits. I don't think it takes away from the music. I think it kind of adds to the darkness and the eerie. It's eerie, I would say, not like gross or shocking. It's very eerie. It fits their kind of dark vibe a little bit.
Oh yeah, because anything that's like, if you're gonna do horror elements or like scary kind of dark gothic stuff, like anything that's subtle and like you don't notice as much is going to be infinitely scarier than, or like if it's vague, is going to be infinitely scarier than just explicitly saying all this stuff, you know?
Yeah, their lyrics aren't really that cheesy. He's very, like I said, like you said, is very vague with the lyrics. I like when vocalists, they don't just take a direct approach and they tell you what the song's about, but the way they write it gives you, multiple interpretations that you could go with. So that's what I like. But the thing that I thought was really fucking funny was the lyrics of Passenger is about about Roadhead, about like Maynard blowing Chino is pretty much the context of that song.
Nice.
So
wait, he actually did that, or
no, he didn't actually fucking do it. It was just they did it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's literally Maynard. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, but no, they just that's their sense of humor. They're just fucking goofy. So like they wrote a song, like not literally, but like in the context of Maynard's playing the girl blowing Chino as he's driving. That's the Passenger, the cool leather seats for your knees, roll the windows down.
Maynard as like a girl. Okay.
Yeah, he's playing the girl in that story.
That is very different.
Yeah, roll the windows down. This cool night air is curious. Who cares? Who sees what's... you know what I mean? Like, it's... Like, the lyrics is about Roadhead. So, back in the day, me and my boy that I used to be... We weren't in a band. We tried to start something together. We just never got into anything because of schedule. But... We had a bet to see who would get Roadhead first this song. and
Wait,
I
like
fucking
in the passenger song?
yeah, like this like the first person to like get Roadhead and then play this song was gonna be the winner.
Oh, out of you two, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I fucking won that bet.
Oh, you did?
I did. It's my proudest moment.
Or it's like you have like a plaque and like it's on your wall.
I should
Like-
have that as a plaque. I'm planning
Yeah.
on seeing them live because they're playing with Gojira this summer. So if I ever, I'm not gonna.
Oh, that's the band you said was gonna play the Gojira. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for
Nice.
that show. They're headlining. But anyways, like if I ever meet them in person, I'm totally gonna tell them that.
I'm sure he'd be like, nah.
Yeah, so that's really, you can, and when you look at comments under their videos, it's always girls like, I'm so wet to his voice. Like it has that atmosphere. Like that's just what they're about.
Really?
Yeah, that's really their whole
I guess
thing.
because I'm Christian and I'm not really thinking about these things, but
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying. Once you start getting those impulses with somebody, even if you wait till marriage, and then I'm telling you, you
don't
gotta,
tempt me, Satan.
you,
Shut up.
you gotta throw this shit on there. It just makes it 10 times better.
Or you could throw on what's better? What's like a cool genre of music? I'm trying to think.
To have sex to.
I guess. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna do it because I'm Christian, but
Oh, you'll have your
I don't
moment
know.
of weakness.
yep. For Will, it's
Just don't play fucking Hillsong and you're good to go.
don't play Sweet Home Alabama and you're good to go. That would actually probably be great, wouldn't it?
To have sex to Sweet Home Alabama? No, it fucking wouldn't. Because then
Why not?
I would just think about incest. Like everybody that thinks about incest, that's the main song. So it's like I couldn't have
Well, what
sex
if
to that
it
song.
isn't that?
Well, I know shit. It's not gonna be that. But what I'm
That's all right,
saying is,
'cause
it's gonna
I
fucking
know,
give
you
me
seem
that.
like a normal dude, Jason. I don't think you're gonna do that.
Fuck no. But that's just what I would think, and I would just start laughing.
Oh,
I could not fuck to Sweet Home Alabama. I just couldn't.
what about Horsecock?
You know, I want to make a playlist of like really stupid songs like that to see if I could.
Redneck shit. That is
Yeah.
that could go on the playlist.
Like country, dude. I think I would just go soft immediately if someone just like played country to set the mood. Like fuck that.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Country music either makes me like if it's really bad, it just makes me cringe so hard,
Yeah.
or if it's really good, it just kind of makes me feel like happy and want to like get up and like dance, like John Denver or something like that.
Yeah, like I said, older. I think we talked about it before, but older country is the way to go, not this new
Oh yeah.
pop
like-
rap shit, TikTok
Oh
songs.
no, that is the worst thing ever. Sorry.
Um,
Well, yeah, like the '70s kind of country is pretty good.
yeah.
It's not my favorite genre of music, but I wouldn't mind if someone just like kind of put it on.
I also kind of like that kind of country for that reason too. Of just it also kind of gives me a late night atmosphere, like chilling by the campfire with your people.
Yeah,
Or
you're
more
wearing
intimate
plaid
moments.
and smoking cigars.
Yeah, not quite sexual, but just a little bit more intimate moment that you share with somebody.
Not quite, but
Almost there. Not, not.
sorry,
the-
John Denver, but you just don't do it for
No,
me,
not
man.
not fucking John Denver, but like some of the '50s country is a little bit eerie and kind of gives
I'm
that
trying to
vibe.
remember. I don't know, like, I'm not that well. Sorry, what am I saying? I'm not that well versed in country. I mean, I know like John Denver, Willie Nelson. I know
Yeah.
my mom likes him. From what I've heard of him, he's all right.
Like I said, the previous ones before, like I like Marty Robbins, Peggy Lee, a lot of those Western '50s countries people.
Yeah.
Um,
Old Crow Medicine Band or whatever.
yeah. But like I said, they kind of give me. There's a lot of music where I feel that way, and because I love when music makes me feel like I can listen to it late at night, especially because I'm mostly active late at night. I'm working most of the day, and I hate fucking getting up early in the morning. So it's like my brain doesn't really fully function, and I'm a night owl, so that's why I connect with more of that music at night. But yeah, so that's why I was really really curious. Like I when I recommended to you, I was like, he might find this interesting, but I kind of went into this thinking that you weren't going to like it for that reason, because I didn't know what you were going to get out of it if you didn't get that
well,
undertone.
What I can, yeah. You're like, Will's such a fucking stupid incel. He's not gonna understand.
Well, no, that's
No,
why
anyways.
I recommended
Yeah.
it to you, because I really wanted to get your take on it, because
Yeah,
everybody
no,
else, you're
I
like,
was
dude,
just
I want to
memeing,
get
yeah.
my dick sucked to this so hard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to get the other side.
Really, I wouldn't even like. That's not even what I would want it to. But
You
um,
don't know until you try, and that's what I'm saying. You don't have the life experience to understand if you like it or not. That's what my point is. That's why I recommended this to you.
right. And I do thank you for recommending things that you're like. I mean, because I'm willing. Like I said, I'm willing to hear literally anything. At the end of the day, I do think it's interesting. Even though I did think that a lot of it was kind of derivative of other bands. Even though I don't know if I'm going to still maintain that same opinion on a second listening.
Well, what other band does it remind you of when you listen to
And
them?
certain like Tool or Nirvana or stuff like that.
They only
But
remind me of Nirvana on Nirvana's like more moodier songs, but like they so
oh
like
no, yeah, the actual like good Nirvana,
yeah
so not like the Nirvana I don't like.
yeah, because Deftones is really They're an aggressive band. Like I don't so like he's like I'm assuming you've heard him like scream on some of the tracks. That very high pitched like super screech that he does.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was like overbearing. I liked it.
No, not that it's overbearing, but what I'm saying is like their first album, like he did a lot of that kind of style, and it was
Oh, like on the stuff that I. Well, okay. How were any of the songs on this playlist you made from the first album?
no, I don't think any song was on the first album because it was a little bit. I didn't think you're gonna like it because it was a lot of harder metal screaming. The vocals were kind of weirder on this one. I'm sorry, on that one. Um, I just didn't. I don't know. I wanted to get like a more well-rounded approach. I didn't want you to straight up because I don't think you'd like that album. There's like I don't really even like that album. It kind of tests my patience a little bit the way that they do it.
Yeah.
There's also like a on some of the songs like I don't know if it's because of a stylistic choice or it's just weird the way they recorded it, but like a lot of times his vocals sound kind of off to the music on some of them, but on others it mixes very well. It's very strange.
Yeah, I kind of got that too.
So like I'm saying, he's a very experimental vocalist. So like that's why I kind of attribute to you either love him or you can't stand him because he does a very specific style.
I guess I was kind of like in the middle in that regard in terms of just the actual singer's voice.
Yeah, I think it takes a couple
But
listens because, like I said, I didn't really like them when I first listened to them. But again, like when you start playing guitar and you start actually like listening to the melody and listening to it, and also having that interaction where, to me, I also get the memories too, because like I said, like a lot of the times I feel like really high euphoria when I listen to these guys because it just reminds me of all the stuff that I did while I was listening to them. So it also
Nice.
has that kind of effect as well. So like they've been around forever for me. So. They're in a
Yeah,
special
for
place.
me, that's kind of. I mean, I know it's that they haven't been around forever for me, but Tool is kind of that way for me.
You know what's
Where it's
crazy
just like,
is like Tool gives me that kind of vibe to some of their songs, but like I cannot fuck to them because of the polyrhythms, man. Like it throws me off.
oh no,
Dude, I put one on one time and I don't what song
which
was
one
it?
did you put on?
I'm trying to think. I tried so like obviously like Disposition and Reflection was one, and those ones were fine.
Yeah.
Reflection got a little bit. No, actually, that was a good one. I think Right in Two is what I put. So like when it got into like the
Wait,
heavier
fuck,
part.
dude, my fucking headphones. Damn it.
Oh, did you break out?
Yeah, they just ran out of battery. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Fuck. So my headphones ran out of power.
I hate how everything's wireless now. I have yet to buy wireless headphones, and I love it. I'm gonna have to pretty fucking
Yeah.
soon because my new phone does not have a goddamn headphone jack like everything else now. So I'm gonna be forced when I'm going on a plane in fucking June to get them. But for now, What I was saying
Yeah,
is
we gotta
like
get the adapter.
what I was saying was reflection and disposition were fine. Like I said, it's
Wait,
not.
would you mind if we waited like 5 minutes and then I could like bring my mic over here to
God
like where it's plugged in?
damn it, boy. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, just give me like 1 second. Let me see. Is this still working from this? Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, this is really fucking annoying.
Oh, the woes of wireless headphones.
Wait, let me see if I can just borrow my sister's.
Make sure you play Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, wait, borrow sister's now.
Even better. Yeah, you're fine, dude. Just edit it out.
There we go. Are you still there?
Yeah.
All right. So you were saying about reflection.
Yeah, so reflection I think works, but I think I played right in two because like, oh, this is gonna be really fucking cool. But then as soon as like the fucking The
That's a really
goddamn
good song.
it is, but like as soon as the goddamn distorted guitars hit in the build up, I was just like, okay, this isn't working. And we had to stop.
Yeah, I guess we like Tool for different reasons.
Well, I don't like Tool for that reason. That's why I said I was like, I'm gonna see how this goes because I could kind of feel that in some of their music. And I was just like, I don't think that worked. I'm not gonna do that again.
Oh, okay. So you're saying Tool does and does not
I think
serve
certain
in that?
songs, yeah.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
like
I see what you're saying.
I feel like the other person has to be into the band though, because I feel like if you just like, here, let me play this, babe, and then she's like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like it's like it can be really one-sided. So I think that's kind of the reason. Like, if they're a fan, then it works, but if not, then I don't think it really works.
Yeah. Well, I think Tool is really one of those bands where like it has to grow on you. Fucking voice crack. Anyways, because when I listened to Tool, like I did like them, but I was like, I was like it's kind of just like most other. But I was like, oh, and I actually like listened to like all their albums from like start to finish. And I was like, whoa, okay, this is like this how has all this stuff that I never knew was here.
Yeah.
And
I was the same way, man. I didn't really like them when I first listened, and then for some reason, like, it's one of those bands
yeah,
where
I didn't get it.
well, that's true, but like, there's also something like I didn't really like them, but there's also something about their like atmosphere that really piqued my interest. So like, I would like find myself really curious, but I wonder what the song sounds like, and then I would like this is how I kind of got down the rabbit hole, and then became one of my favorites. It was like that for Mastodon with me too. Like Mastodon took me there. I was just so interested in their artwork and their concepts and their like complexity, and I just kind of fell in love with them. That's why I was curious because I didn't realize, or I didn't think that you were. Well, I knew you were gonna love it, but I didn't know if you were gonna kind of gravitate towards that on the first listen, like I said before.
For Crack the Sky or this
Yeah,
one?
for Crack the Sky.
Oh no, yeah, I definitely like Crack the Sky much better than this. But at the same time, I don't know. Maybe this kind of Deftone style will grow on me.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would give it a couple of listens, and if you want to just listen, like I can give you some albums if you want to just listen to the album all the way through, because I kind of, like I said, through.
Yeah, because I'm very into listening to albums.
So one of the ones I was gonna recommend to you, like the first album I was gonna recommend to you was White Pony, because that's the album that has Digital Bath, Knife Party, Passenger, and did you I don't know if you did you like Changes? Did you not like? Did you find that song boring?
Let me see.
I don't know if it said Change in the House of Flies.
I'm trying to.
That's
see
the
which
really
one.
slow vibey one. So that's one of their most
Changes.
popular songs, and that's the song that I got
Yeah,
introduced
I
to them.
thought the harmony was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I got introduced to them with, and that's, like I said, one of their most popular songs, and that really sets the tone for their kind of style specifically. Is that
Okay.
song is
Okay.
it's a very slow, very vibey, a little bit dark. The lyrics are kind of fucked up in this one too, but in a subtle way. It's very smooth.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't really have much more to say about it other than that. Yeah, I'll give it another listen, but
Okay.
I don't really know when, because it's not like I said, it's not a thing where I'm like, oh, I'm dying to go back and listening to it. You know, like Mastodon and the Crack the Sky. I wanted to go listen to that again right after.
Those are completely different band. Like those are like,
Not sure,
Yeah.
but I mean,
like I said, you have to be in this kind of like a certain mood, because like I can't listen to them all the time. Like I said, mostly during the day. Like I would, like if you catch yourself driving at night, I would listen to it again then, because it really fucking
Right.
hits different, especially if you're driving.
oh yeah, I bet.
Because I feel like when you're driving late at night, you just get into that very just lonely or lustful kind of mindset, or not even that, just very inquisitive, or you're really thinking about stuff a lot, or you just kind of get
Yeah,
into
because
that.
you're just stuck by just to yourself, and that's the only person you can talk to.
Yeah. And one of the things
Cool.
too that I
Yeah.
like about because I fucking hate living in this area. I hate all the congestion. I hate being near big cities. But the one thing I do like about it is
Yeah.
like driving through it at night with all the lights. So I feel like that's really what I like about listening to their type of music. And also, it's strange. Like you're gonna have this, I think, when you get a little bit older. When you start listening to this kind of music, and let's say like when you maybe get to my age or a little bit older, if you like, you're gonna really like the nostalgia for, not like nostalgia, but just like the memories that you have listening to it at the time are really gonna hit you hard with this type of music. So especially when you drive late at night, and I don't know if we talked about it, I don't know if you kind of get stuck in the past with your way of thinking if you kind of look to the past a lot, because I used to do that all the time and I still kind of do that
Yeah, I
now.
can. Yeah, sure.
So that kind of thing really
Um,
feeds into that mindset.
like, does Death Tone like really give you the nostalgia?
Yeah, it does. And like it kind of, like I said, when I'm feeling
Okay.
lonely, it kind of exaggerates that loneliness. Like it really, especially like I said, driving late at night, looking at the city lights and shit like that. Like it just everything fits together perfectly for me. It's like one of those sadnesses you kind of like to sit in and kind of zone out to. I can't explain it other than that.
Yeah, but I understand 100% what you mean.
But yeah, so they're like I said, they're for them that's really what hits home for me. Also, I love playing like a lot of their shit is very simple. Um, it's mainly the rhythm you have to get down, so it's very right hand heavy. It's not super left hand heavy. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
so like I said, I think you also get more of an appreciation when you play it, and also when you start getting into tones and amp sounds and different types of distortion, you'll kind of like I think you'll get more of a understanding on that level too. There's a lot packed into their mixes, kind of like Mastodon. Like you're not gonna catch all
Mm.
that. Like there's gonna be one certain chord that just hits a certain way, and it's like, oh fuck, this is nasty. Like you know what I mean? Like they,
Yeah, like I love the intro for You've Seen the Butcher. I thought that was really cool, like palm mute
yeah. Then that's on
thing.
a
That was nasty. Yeah.
yeah. So that one I think is their most like seductive kind of like trancy song. It's like the music video is wild. It's basically like a bunch of half naked girls like crawling up to him, and like some of them like are covered in blood and shit. Like
Nice.
it's a cool music video. So it's like um
Yeah, because I didn't get that. I don't know.
that's what like it's like on that song, which is crazy to me because like to me that's like it's super erotic the way that they wrote it. It's super slow. His voice is very like yeah in the mood and shit. Like it's funny that you don't get it from that. It's wild.
Maybe I'll have to go back and listen to it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Go jerk off and listen to that song, Will.
No, because I can't do that.
You can when you won't admit it.
No, I don't do it. I'm not bullshitting you. Like I don't do it.
Okay, I believe you.
I'm Christian. That's all you need to know, dude.
Every time you get a porn ad, sorry, bro, I'm Christian. Block.
Awkward. Not a good look, bro.
Not a good look. Um, so okay, so I guess from like, what do you get from that song then? Beside like,
It's just cool, like, kind of grunge rock music. I mean, it
that's
would be good
grungy
for,
to
like,
you?
not necessarily. I mean, I was kind of just working in aspects of the other songs, but
I see.
um, I'm trying to remember because like after the intro, which really stood out, I'm trying to remember how the rest of the song went. But
It's that same kind of bouncing rhythm, but like I said, his ability
yeah,
to
the bouncy, like that peppy kind of rhythm.
yeah, and then like his very like
Yeah, I remember it now.
his choruses are super airy. That's the way I can describe them. They flow and flow and flow, and they're very, very catchy. I love the way that he makes his choruses.
Mhm. But yeah, it's kind of like chill out. It could even be gym music, honestly.
It's good like
Um,
cardio music. Like I don't want to lift weights to it, but like if I need to like take my mind somewhere to make me feel like I'm not actually, running, because I think running by itself is so fucking boring.
yes. Oh, I cannot.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like a going to the gym at 9 o'clock type of thing. In that night.
Yeah.
But yeah, cardio
Yeah.
really. But yeah, so that song to me is like the epitome of their erotic sound besides Digital Bath.
Yeah, Digital Bath was like their most. Was like out of the ones you sent to me, that was the most unique out of all of them.
Yeah. They I'm trying so like his like vocal style, I'm trying to think of words for it besides like so like in Knife Party, right, where like I can't I wish I was more music theory versed or like very specific with my words besides just being fucking vague as I am. But just
That's me, dude. I'm vague as fuck when I talk about things I like and don't like.
my problem is like it's frustrating because I have a very specific thought in my head, but I just do not know how to express it. But so in that song, how he's like where he sings lines like "I can float here forever in this room," kind of thing. But like the way that he really like, it sounds like it kind of the similar thing that Maynard does. Like his vocals envelop this very like it's like a building atmosphere. It's like this big, without a lack of a better way to describe it, this huge object that's just constantly growing, and like it's a very powerful moving force, but it's not aggressive. It's very like, I can't think of the word. It makes me feel like I want to go, not build something, like physically build something, but like create like matter out of nowhere. It's very like metaphysical, if that makes sense. Like you feel like you're heightened, and it's just it kind of like, because like the atmosphere of the instruments behind it is super like slow and eerie, but the vocals
like,
really just lift it to that like intuitive level, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that with Reflection, like, and like the lyrics and stuff like that.
It's weird on that
Like,
song to me. His vocals were just kind of creepy, like with the effect that he had and that high pitch kind of in pain.
Wow, 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 wow. Oh,
No. I'm talking about his
riff,
verses,
but,
like when he.
Oh, like the
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that one. Okay.
Yeah, I don't get that feeling, but I get that I get that in Writing too. That's what I get it from. Is that the feeling that he gets the feeling that I get when he sings Writing too. I get that same feeling with Knife Party, like the way he structures his vocals. It's like a not overlord, but it's like a eye watching down kind of a feeling, I guess, is what I can just.
Omniscient kind of.
Yes.
Omnipotent.
Perfect. Omniscient.
Like overseer.
Exactly.
Like supreme, overseeing, omnipotent.
Yes. That is
entity,
exactly.
Almost, yes.
Yeah.
That is a very good way to describe it.
And
I'm not trying to credit myself, but
no, it is. It's literally what I had in my head. I just couldn't think of the fucking word. That was the word.
Yeah, no, it's like this control. Like, you know, it's just like,
yes,
I
control.
have power over this, you know, and there's nothing you can do about it, you know.
But not
That's what I get with Maynard.
But it's not in the traditional sense of like power and dominance. It's like it's like you said, it's all about having a very stable control, but not like controlling over somebody else. It's very like, it's very sturdy. It has a very, it's rooted very well.
Yeah, and that's what I get with Tool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, more over like with Reflection, and especially like with the lyrics, like the "It's calling me."
Yeah.
I'm just like, what is calling him? Like, why is it calling him? I'm like, what is this? It's so cool, and it's like they said, it's creepy, it's like eerie. Like you could take Reflection in like a billion different perspectives, you know, because like everyone, I've heard tons of different views of that song.
Yeah. So,
and I'm sure. Do you think is Deftone, like you were saying, how it's kind of polarizing? But do you think there's still, in terms of the people that do love it, like that love Deftones music? Do you think that there's people that get like different, like this wide range of like, oh, I like this about it. Wait, that's what you liked about it and stuff like that? Yeah,
because in this genre, like I said, I mean, just objectively, a lot of people that like Tool also really like Deftones. So there's a similar fan base, and like I said, they featured on a fucking song together. So like they're a similar genre. Tool's more cerebral than Deftones are. Deftones is more raw emotion, I would say. But there's so much subtlety and dynamic in their sounds that especially like if you listen to it at a specific time in your life that gives you a strong memory, you're gonna latch on you're gonna latch on different specific parts. It's gonna be very, very, very personal, and it's not going to be the same. Like you can get 10 people in a room and they're going to talk about each aspect that they really felt, you know, that had a strong reaction to emotion wise. But so that's the one thing. And I thought about this a lot. So that feeling of like that rudeness and that omniscient sort of overlooking presence that the vocals give, a lot of that comes from the mix. Like obviously it's the singer. Not many singers can do that or give that sort of element to a song. And live, that element is sort of lost because it takes a lot of studio placement, a lot of effect to kind of, you know, you have to very specifically place it in that range that it's hard to kind of get. It's either like way too quiet or it's way too forward placing in the mix where it's like the vocals are super fucking loud and then the, you know, music behind it is very compressed and just washed out. So it's very hard to get that sort of balance with the vocals and the instruments being on that same plane, but also feel like it has an overarching presence throughout the whole song, the way the melody is constructed. And I think that both Maynard and Chino do that very fucking well.
Yeah, and like I know I should be talking more about these Deftones songs you wanted me to listen to, but it just keeps making me think of Tool, and it make like all this stuff you're saying about what you get out of Deftones. Like this is just what I get out of Tool, like especially talking about that omniscient omnipotent, like just overlooking presence, like controlling presence. That's like the whole bass riff of
Yeah,
Reflection.
that's
Oh,
Tool's whole
it's
vibe.
just
But I
yeah.
just think it's interesting that like I can hear that in Deftones music because that's not really like their style that they're going for. Like I said, they're going for that darker, eerie, and erotic kind of vibe.
Yeah, and some of it's post rock. I heard.
Yeah,
Um,
a lot of
that's what I kind of got out of it. It's just kind of like a chill out. Like, yeah, I like this. I'm sitting down on my couch in my living room. My mom's knitting.
yeah. That's just listening to with your parents is just funny to me.
No, my dad's not home. It was just my mom.
I know, but just the fact it's just because of that undertone, it's just like I would not want to listen to this with my parents.
I don't know. I mean, like you said, most of it's drowned out. You don't even realize it if you're not that paying
No, I
that
know.
much
It's
attention to
it's
it,
just like the way that music makes me feel. It would make me uncomfortable listening to it with my parents. Is what I'm saying, not the
Oh yeah,
not the lyrics.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
But yeah. So I think you should give them a couple listens. Like I said, it's better than I thought. I thought that you
I
just
will,
weren't
yeah,
gonna
I
get
will.
anything from it at all. So I'm glad that like it piques your interest a little bit. But like I said, I was in the same boat.
It definitely does. Yeah.
I was in the same boat, man. Like I didn't like him at all when I first heard him. I was like, I hated it. I was like, fuck this. His vocals are annoying. I don't like this. And then for some reason, fucking, actually, I know what it was. So, there was a period of time where I was going to Nova, and I was about to. I think it was about like a year or two away from going to Mason, and a band I was with was covering Mason or covering a bunch of songs. We covered Schism, and then we covered a Deftones
Oh,
song,
nice.
and then we also covered a Breaking Benjamin song, and we played I think maybe twice. But I was going through so much shit during that time, like with the person I was dating, and also just with school and a bunch of shit at home. So like it was like the perfect storm of like fucked up, um, a fucked up time in my life. So, but again, like that sort of sadness that I felt, when I walk through their campus now, it just gives me that sort of like very comforting, eerie tune. And then when I hear some of their songs, I just kind of hear the element. So that's the one thing I like about these genres is that you get a specific feeling from some time in your life, and then it could be something with the vocals or the way the guitar sounds or a way a melody is structured, and it gives you like a glimpse of that feeling. So that's the one thing that I really love about them.
Yeah, man. No, I feel you. And it's like nostalgia is such an interesting thing that we have
Yeah.
as humans, and
I mean,
just like that pain of like, man, like just the past, and like I can no longer go to it, even if it was a good thing or a bad thing. It's just like, man,
yeah.
like I can never go back.
I know. I mean, yeah. I mean, I mean, a lot of people say it, but it's really true. Music does get you through some shit, and I think for me at the time,
Yeah,
like
man.
I've had a lot of good and bad memories throughout, the most of my life since high school listening to this band. So it gives me both, and I think, like I said, when I was at like my really low or my saddest, it gets comforting to listen to that type of shit. So it's like it made me feel good listening to it. Also, like being like it's like sometimes I haven't been that like sad in a long time. I feel like now a lot of it's more stress related, but I haven't felt that like that individual sort of isolation that I felt even when I was around a lot of people. I still felt really isolated and kind of disconnected and disassociative. And so kind of
Right.
listening to music that kind of gave me that sort of feeling, but also all these other feelings at the same time, it kind of made it feel like it was comforting, and I didn't I didn't feel the need to self-destruct. I felt the need to get better, but also just, feel good in the moment too. So I think it makes me think of a lot of complex emotions that are conflicting, which I think is really fascinating, and I think that's the whole point of music.
Yeah, I know, and that's very true of, again, like I said, Reflection. That song for me is just, it's like any mood. It's for when I'm angry, it's for when I'm sad, it's for when I'm hyped, when I'm like happy, when I'm anything. Like that song it can produce so many different emotions. It's insane.
Yeah, and I think the thing I like about that song is I agree. So it's like I've listened to it having different or being in different emotive states, and a lot of times for me now, I think when I listen back to that song, it just gives me the cool eerie vibe, and that's what I love it for. Is a very relaxing song. I think I remember I was starting a project with some people, and I was trying to think of a really kind of like not intricate, but a very catching melody like in that song, and I listened to it for inspiration. So like it gets me very it's like when you watch a really good movie, then you walk out of the movie theater and like you want to pretend like you're one of the characters in the movie. That's what it gives me
Yeah,
that feeling.
yeah. Yeah, or you like see the way that like the cameraman did a certain thing. You're like, yo, I want to do like a movie like that. You know?
Yeah, like for me, like I
Yeah.
mimic a lot of like, especially when I'm around different people, like I like to mimic their shit. So if if I watch a show, I kind of want to like use the same words or kind of talk similarly than they were doing in the show, or
I
like
am very guilty of that.
yeah, I think a lot of people are and they don't want to admit it. I'm very of that way. So when I listen to music
Oh
like
yeah,
that,
no, you even accused me of this. How like a lot of the way I speak and stuff is like derivative of like my brother or my dad, which is true. But you know, you just
no, that was
everyone's influenced by something.
that wasn't my
But
point. My point is like your ideological takes on things, not like you mimic their way of like. I guess it is mimicking the way of thinking, but not like in
oh, it is,
not like in
yes.
your speech patterns. I feel like you're probably different from your family in that way. I just have that hunch, even though I've never met them.
Well, it depends from like when we're speaking amongst each other as opposed to when I'm just speaking to you and it's just me. I mean, it could be, and it also, it just depends. Like everyone, like you can kind of, it's weird, you know what I'm saying? Because like when you're speaking to someone who has like a different accent than you, it can be hard to necessarily speak in like a standard English accent, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't really find that hard.
At
I
times it can
find
be.
myself like if I'll talk to somebody with like a foreign accent, and then let's say that night I'm going to the grocery store, I'll find myself like talking like that person just to be like, but there's nobody around. Like I'm not like trying to like pull a bit on somebody. I'm just like I'm simply walking down the aisle and I'll pick up something and I'll read it in that voice just to because I'm bored. Like I don't know why I do it, but like
Well, I'm
that's what I
not
really
talking
do.
about like foreign accents, right? I'm not really talking about like foreign accents. I'm just talking about someone who has like a slightly different English accent than you do, if you
Oh,
know
I
what I'm
see.
saying.
Yeah.
It's like a slight kind of country twang, or it's like a slight kind of northern like Yankee thing. It's like you just kind of lean that one way or the other, and you'll
Yeah.
use kind of certain dialectical things that you wouldn't necessarily use in like how we're talking right now.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
I do that too. Cause like I said, my dad's side of the family is from the south, so I don't know if y'all can hear it on here, but there's some words I might have a drawl to, but other times it's just I have a neutral voice. But then when I go meet my
Drawl too.
little drawl to it, but when I meet my family,
Yeah.
it kind of has a little bit more of that. But like I don't know what I don't know is if like I'm tricking myself to make me think, oh, this is how I actually talk, or if I'm like I'm around my family and I want to talk how they talk. I think it's like I'm writing that line. There's sometimes there's like this is a little bit forced, but at other times it also feels natural. So I don't feel like I'm like doing a
Yeah.
bit or playing a character. Like it feels natural. But there's also certain words that I didn't realize how I say when I listen back on there. It's like ugh. It's like because my mom's from Minnesota, so like she'll have some of the more
I'm from
rounded,
Minnesota.
yeah, one of the rounded O's. So when I don't do it a lot, but like there's sometimes or like when I like A's, if there's an A in the middle of the word, I'll like kind of like I'll really drag it out sometimes. It's like ugh, I hate it when I do that.
Man, oh yeah, that's my mom when we see her parents,
Yeah,
because they're kind of like working class, kind of like ethnically French New Orleans people,
yeah,
and they're not like they don't exactly sound Cajun, but it kind of goes along that line, if you know what I'm saying.
yeah. It's
Like
subtle.
like they don't. Yeah, they don't sound like the crawfish etouffee.
I fucking love that shit.
Right, but like my grandpa used words like "sha" and stuff. I don't know if
Yeah.
you know what that is.
I have no idea.
Well, like "sha" just means like love or sweetheart or honey or something like that.
How would you use it in a sentence?
I don't know, just be like, yeah, "sha" or something like that.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, like Cajun people say that.
I don't really know too much about Cajun culture, or I mean, I guess the only thing I really know is the food, I guess, and some of the blues music, like the Delta
Which
blues
is
and
good
shit.
as fuck.
Yeah, I
They have
love Delta blues.
and they have they have tons of
Or
other
Bayou, I'm sorry, not
great
Delta.
right by you. Yeah, they like all the accordion music and all that
Yeah.
kind of French stuff is awesome.
Yeah,
Like the
Zydeco.
soundtrack.
Yeah,
Yeah, Zydeco, like the Princess and the Frog soundtrack has some really good kind of
yeah.
Cajun songs.
My dad fucking loves Zydeco music. One of my greatest memories is like driving to my grandma's house, and he'd always play. I think Chubby Carrier was the guy that he liked, or Bojack, or God, who was it? It was one of those guys. And my mom hates that fucking. She calls it ratty tat music. She's like, turn off that ratty tat music. It's pretty funny, but yeah, I like Zydeco music. It's very strange because like I It's not something I really ever listen to, but if somebody plays it on, I really enjoy it.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way, even though I'm from New Orleans. But
uh,
there's some just I mean, I know it's just obvious, but like this the New Orleans jazz music is just it's unlike any other. And their R&B is excellent, obviously.
yeah.
There's actually a band I haven't listened to yet, but I want to listen to them. They're called Zebra. Have you ever heard of them?
I don't think so.
They are a rock band from New Orleans.
Okay.
And I was watching Cobra Kai, and one of the characters was wearing a Zebra t-shirt, and then I asked my dad what that was, and he was like, "Oh, it's a New Orleans rock band." I was like, "Oh, cool."
What's their kind of sound?
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't listened to it yet.
Right. Yeah. Jesus. Turn my brain off.
Right. Oh, wait. I completely forgot. We need to talk about the Gypsy Kings.
Yeah, this is a good segue. It's kind of influencing, or not influencing, it's kind of the same vein, I think, in terms of energy and dancey vibe. I don't know if I told you before, I really do like Gypsy Kings.
Okay.
I've listened to a couple songs, but I've never really sat and divulged into, I think this is probably the most songs I've listened to from them. There's a couple that I recognized. I thoroughly enjoy them a lot. I forgot, they're from Spain, right?
They are actually French,
They're French.
but they are like descended from, like their parents are all like Spaniards. So
Right, so that's what I was gonna say, because like they have a lot of Middle Eastern influences in the vocals, and that's kind of from that Spanish time, right? I would.
oh
guess.
yeah, they're descended from like the southern Spanish, like kind of Moroccan,
Yeah.
Moorish
So
part of Spain. Yeah.
I had completely forgot about that, because what the points I was going to touch on later in some of the songs is like a lot of Mexican restaurants play Gypsy Kings, but they don't play the very wavering Middle Eastern-y sounding Gypsy King song. So I forgot that they had that element to
yes,
it.
because they have those. Yeah, because like
Yeah.
especially I don't like in the like what track specifically? Because I have some in mind, but I wanted to hear which ones.
So
you, like
the track I think for the most part is Bailame or Bailame, however the fuck you want to say it.
Bailame.
Bailame. So that one.
Dance Me.
Yeah, so that one really had, like, I feel like I've heard that in every fucking Mexican restaurant.
Yes, and same thing with the which one was it? It's like the give me 1 second. Yeah, Bailame, Volare. That one's played in tons of Mexican restaurants.
Yeah.
But like the ones you were talking about where you get that just like that Middle Eastern, like South Spain vibe is the second track, Viento de la Arena.
Yeah.
That song is it just reminds me that I'm living. It just like touches like my soul in this way that like most like in just it's like no other music. It's insane. Like I imagine myself just in the middle of like a desert, just like yelling to like just the open abyss, just like and just singing those vocals that he's using. And I love how he doesn't like even speak a word, like he's just singing in gibberish.
Oh, is it like kind of scatting?
Yeah,
Interesting. That's what I was gonna. So what is
he's not saying anything.
What does that one
legit.
mean?
It means wind of the sand.
Wind of the sand.
Wind from the sand. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I love that track a lot. Like I said, I love the Middle Eastern sound that it has, but it's very specific. I don't want to say sub-Saharan. I guess it's sub-Saharan, I think, if I'm saying that right. But what it reminds me of is there's a band called Myrath, Myrath, and they're a metal band from Tunisia. They're a prog metal band. They're very good, and the singer sounds a lot like that the guy from Gypsy Kings when he does the wavering pitch, and that's what it really reminds me of. But it's cool because it's doing it over like Spanish music as opposed to prog metal. But they have a lot of like sitar and harps and a lot of tabla drums and steel bongos and all that shit. So I love that track a lot. Hobi Hoba, I've danced that song many fucking times.
That's another one you'll hear in a Mexican restaurant.
So one of the stories that I had was I went on a Mediterranean cruise and I was 18, and the fact that I was 18 was cool because it ported out of Madrid, so I could legally drink on the boat per Spanish law.
Nice.
So I was able to go drink a lot. I don't know if I talked about it before. I don't really drink too much really at all anymore. I have a couple occasionally and get buzzed occasionally, but when I was younger, I like to like feel like I was drunk, but like I said, I've only ever thrown up once, but I got really drunk on that ship a lot. Just I was like, fuck it, I want to have fun. I'm not gonna, probably ever do this again in my lifetime without my parents, so I'm gonna really enjoy it. And they had this like nightclub that was like at the top level deck of the ship, and every night it was fucking wild. Like people would get shit faced, everybody was dancing on each other. It was such a fun atmosphere. And I remember, because I don't really like dancing, I have to get some drinks in me to dance, or like I have to do it like with my girlfriend. I can't just fucking dance by myself. I'm just not that dude. But I love dancing to salsa or like Spanish music the most, because I think club songs are more ass shaking songs, so it's like I feel awkward dancing to them. But I love dancing to Spanish music. And I remember,
there's just like I can't sit still when I'm listening to this. I have to kind of like just tap to the beat with my hands or like my feet or something. I have to like pretend like I'm playing the drums or something.
Exactly. So I remember when this song came on, because I fucking love this song, so I danced to it so fucking hard. And I was like, I think I was going up to random girls and just trying to like dance with them. And I think I got rejected twice, and then the third one let me dance with them, so I danced with them to this song, which is kind of, I wasn't even embarrassed.
Which song was it again?
Hobi Hoba.
Yes, right.
The first track on that one.
Jobi Joba.
Oh, is it Jobi Joba?
That's how he sings it. I'm sure. I think that's like something in the Moroccan Arabic dialect. I think.
I know that's how he sings it. I forgot that that's how you pronounce it differently. Anyway.
It could be pronounced differently when you say it as opposed to sing it. I don't know.
But anyway, so like I was dancing to that song, and I was like on a fucking high, because I love, like, I felt good dancing to it. And I remember I was with my brother-in-law, and I never was accustomed to taking shots, so he was kind of like, basically like, you gotta take shots to experience it. So I took a tequila shot, and I didn't know that you're supposed to chase it with the lime. So I was like, I took the shot, and then I just took the lime and threw it in the trash. This Norwegian dude that was sitting at the bar sees me do this, gets up, fucking screams at me in Norwegian, and like he was slamming his fists on the bar, and he told the bartender to like give me another shot, and he would give him one as well. And he basically like he mimed it. He like took my hand and like fucking like gave me the lime and like showed me like, this is how you're supposed to do it. So like he made me take another shot and then fucking chase the lime afterwards while I was already really fucking drunk.
Man.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Wait, the guy giving you the instructions spoke English?
No, he didn't speak any English. He was talking to me in Norwegian.
Oh, he was
but, like,
miming it. Okay, that's what
he was miming it.
Okay.
But he was saying Norwegian
like,
shit while he was doing it. I understood. Like, I was just like, whatever, I don't care. But, like, he got so offended that I didn't fucking do the lime chaser after that shot. It was so funny. He ordered me another one to do it correctly.
Man.
But, yeah, so that's every time I hear that song, that's what it makes me think of. I love that one. I think my favorite off of the album is Un Amor.
Yeah,
that's
a good one.
Love that album. I love the moodiness. I'm sorry, that song. I love the moodiness of the track. The slow
beat is also really good.
Yes, that slow pulsing rhythm, and then their note. So the one thing that I like about Gipsy Kings is they have like really cool rhythms, and they have really, really awesome chord voicings and note selection. I love the way their shit's.
I really like their chords.
Yes, their chords are nice. I love the way they structure their chords.
Yeah, they just make sense. Like
yeah, it reminds me of the stuff that I like to write. Like I try to capture the same sort of atmosphere when I write some of the softer melodies. The way
same. That's very much how I like. I mean, you see me playing in the guitar store. Like I'll be playing those kind of like those key chord selections and the chord structures and progressions. It'll be very similar to like Gipsy Kings, and especially the rhythm I play.
Yeah, which
it's so iconic. Like it's just so obvious that it's them.
Exactly.
You know that rhythm. Yeah,
they are very, very fucking good players. The other thing I was gonna say was also when I was on that cruise, they did like a bunch of shows, and one of them was these three guys, and I don't remember. I think they were South American. I could be wrong, but they were like a comedy troupe, but they would cover Gipsy King songs, and they would like, they're very, very fucking good on their instruments, to the point where like they could mess around and do silly things, and they would sound really fucking cool. And they would just like, they were like the Three Stooges, but they were covering Gipsy Kings, and they would do like a comedic break where they would like shit on each other. Then they would all go into harmonized singing and playing together. It was very, very fun.
Were they speaking in Spanish?
They were speaking in English, but they were singing the songs in Spanish. But they put on a show. Like I said, it was a comedy show, but they were like playing Gipsy King songs too. It was very, very cool. And I don't know if they did some
Yeah.
originals too, but they're very, very talented. And that's what, so like Gypsy Kings, very fucking talented. And one of the things I was going to say over the last flamenco album that I listened to was, do you know when this was made?
This album says it's from the 95, and I know that is kind of when they were popular in like the late 80s and the early 90s and stuff like that.
So obviously I think, how do I put it? Obviously the production is loads better. It's like it's not like a guy and a microphone. Like they have layers, they have reverb, like they really mix their shit well, and they got their tones right. So like this is the few examples where I love the sound of a classical guitar, because the way they make it sound is so powerful, and it's not like weak at all, and it's not rubber banding sounding. So I really love the way they do their guitar. I think they have a lot of overtones that are really nice in their playing. So that's what I really enjoy, is their production and the way that everything sounds just in the mix. I love it a lot. So like I said, and the cool thing about that track as well is that the shredding leads, I think sometimes in classical Spanish music, the shredding leads are kind of like more of a showcase, but I feel like in every Gypsy King song, they really fit with the actual song very well.
Yeah, and I just love how you kind of get glimpses of it in the background and like the verses and stuff, but then like it'll be the chorus, and after that, when they have like this the solo, or they could just get to show off, it's great.
Yeah. So I love that one a lot. Like I said, it's probably my favorite off the album. Morea is another really good one. What does that one mean?
That one is very good. I'm pretty sure that just means like Moorish woman. Let me check.
Moorish woman?
Because it's, hold on.
Like Moorish is in what? Like what's the context of that? Or is it a culture? I don't know what the word means.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
It did give me woman vibes, though. That's the one thing I was going to say about this song.
Give me 1 second. Woman vibes.
Well,
I know. No, some of the songs make me think of like the belly dancers and like the Middle Eastern vibes and stuff like that.
It does.
Like Viento de la Arena. I definitely get that.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, Morea is an island. Is a Polynesian French island. Okay.
Okay. So this one, I think the tone of the guitars is probably my favorite on the album. The song sounds like it's a very seductive dance routine. That's why I think it gives me woman vibes. Like it's like, if you're like standing in the corner of the room and like there's a girl staring at you, like looking at you, wanting like with her eyes telling you that she wants to dance with you. I feel like the song would be playing. I love the fast chord changes. It's like a very intuitive melody. It kind of, like I said, it has that very overlooking sort of feel to it. And the one thing that was very weird that I thought was interesting when I listened to this the first time, the note choices that they did, it made me feel like it was like a very heavy pit in my stomach, but like in that kind of like adrenaline. I gave the example of, it reminds me of when you're about to, like when you're on the top of a roller coaster and you're about to drop, that like sinking feeling in your stomach and that like adrenaline rush. For some reason,
Right,
like the notes made me feel that kind of similar feeling. It's very strange. I thought that was interesting. So I like that one a lot.
Did you like Triste Pena? I think that's one of my favorite ones.
Yes, I do love that one.
I love that one.
So I love the powerful I think that was probably the song with the most powerful vocals that he did. He belted that fucking shit.
Yes, he's so good. And
Yeah,
like,
very good.
It's like similar to the Viento de la Arena. Like you just feel that passion and like that fiery soul into his voice. And I mean, and it's obviously different for me because I understand almost everything they're saying.
Yeah, dude.
But it's like Triste Pena, he's talking about like a breakup and how like how he used to be with like his woman and stuff like that, and you just feel like the sadness in his voice, but it doesn't come off.
It's like anger. You can feel like the frustration, the release,
right?
The release of frustration, I should say.
Well, yes, that, but I was also saying how like it doesn't come off in like a cringe, like emo, sad kind of like sad boy kind of way. Like,
no, yeah. Like
he's
control.
just legitimately like sad, and that's the other thing. Like, you don't have the context. Like you're not like, is she dead? Did she leave him? Like what happened?
Yeah, it's that control like we were talking about earlier, and I think that's the one cool thing. And what I don't like, I love this trope in these types of music. And God, I can't talk in this type of genre than other genres. Is I feel like in pop music, especially if it's like a breakup song, I feel like that's like the really cliche, like, oh, I'm more powerful and stronger now, and like fuck this dude. You know what I mean? Like it's very forced and cheesy.
Yeah, and it's so yeah. Me and you have the same sentiment of like things like this that are bad because they're very overt about like what they're saying.
It's
and
not subtle at all.
There's no subtlety. There's no sophistication. There's just no creativity. It's just very blatantly obvious like what they're going for.
Yeah, and that's
And,
what
like-
I don't like, because it also just gives it gives people a sense of avoidance of responsibility. So like they'll listen to like these breakup songs, like, yeah, fuck that dude, blah 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 blah. I'm powerful now. I'm a strong, independent
Red
person.
pill, bro.
Or the fucking red pill shit. Like it gives you that false sense of seriously, it gives you that false sense of security.
Yes, no,
It's
right.
a fucking
yeah, no, it
mile
does.
wide and an inch deep. But with this type of shit, you
Yep.
can actually feel that like non-cringy, controlled power in the voice. And
Yes, no, like trista pena, which means sad shame.
sad shame.
By the way,
okay.
because he's talking about how like it was like a bitter love that he had with his woman and stuff like that, and it was just like this love that he could like never replace. Like you
Okay.
really feel it. It doesn't feel like it's this forced like just overly romantic song. Like I legitimately feel sorry for this guy, and like you said, his vocals, like he just belts it,
Yeah.
and it's not annoying. It's not like over the top. You're just like yes, man, I feel your pain.
Also, the fact that he can sing and play this shit is really fucking impressive too. I have so much respect
Yes,
for people
ooh.
that can play and sing really intricate shit and not miss a beat. It's so fucking hard to do. I don't think people understand how difficult it is to do
Exactly,
that.
man.
It's super it takes so much practice. The other thing I like about that song was they kind of mimicked the sound of a sitar. I don't know what they did. They either like lowered the action of the strings, like they lowered the nut or did something to make the strings kind of buzz off of the frets or buzz off of something on the guitar to give it that like sitar sound, which I really like, with that rolling rhythm, that very, very consistent flow that they had with that kind of string buzz is really, really cool. I think that's why I like them a lot. They play with a lot of neat percussive sounds with their music on the guitar.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
another
And
thing too.
It just entrances you. you
Yeah,
know?
it does. It's very entrancing. The other percussive thing that I love is on a Quiero Saber, that one. That like
I want to know.
yeah, I want to know. So that one, the beginning where they mimic the sound of rain, where they strum really quickly all the muted notes and shit.
Ooh, that is yes.
Yeah,
No,
I thought that was
is-
really creative. I like that a lot.
Is so awesome.
I love
I
the
think-
pace of that one. I love this, like the guitar tone was also really cool. It's very smooth and sweet. Like it gave me a very savory type of sound. And then the singing had that really good sway to it as well. I love that song a lot.
Yeah. Did you like which one was it? Montaña, the 10th track. I thought that was a very nice like
I
C
did.
and G change of pace.
It was a good change of pace. For some reason,
Yeah.
like so like when the beginning of the song was playing, I was like, ooh, I'm really gonna like this one. But for some reason, like it didn't really pique my interest for the whole song. Like I felt like it was missing something. I think it was the pacing. I don't really think I like the pacing too much of that one.
I guess it's different though, because like I do like understand what he's saying, and I guess that might have to play more into the fact that I do that'll make me like it more.
Yeah, if you didn't give me fucking 18 songs to listen to, I probably could have researched the lyrics, motherfucker. God.
Well, anyway,
Yeah,
basically he's just talking about like he's just going back to the mountain where he was born,
Okay.
and it's like about nostalgia and stuff like that.
It disappoints me that I didn't like that song, because I love that kind of theme. I'm gonna go back and listen to it, see if I can pull something I didn't get in the first time.
Vende Maria, that is the most like stereotypical Gypsy King song you could get.
Yeah, that one was kind of that one and Volare kind of sound like filler songs to me on their albums, because of their other ones were super interesting. So those ones, like I said,
Oh, yeah,
also
they're not bad. They just sound
No,
like
yeah.
yep, that's a Gypsy King song.
They-
Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It works, but it's like
You
yeah,
can-
they're kind of the same.
You can tell they walked into the studio that day and they're like, this works.
Yeah, they're just like let's just play the same rhythm.
Yeah.
It works. The rhythm's great,
Yeah, cool.
so no one will care.
Like why branch out? Let's stick to our formula. It sells albums. Don't fucking do anything different. However, the one different song that I really liked, it's gonna be my beach playlist, is Escúchame.
Really? I don't. I mean,
I
I don't
love that
dislike
song.
it. I think it's diff. I don't like it as much as the other ones.
Okay.
It's the most different out of because it has that like that doom doom doom. What is that?
Yeah,
like
reggae. That's why I love reggae.
reggae. Yeah, reggae. Okay, I'm sorry.
So that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's like this is going on my beach playlist. I have like Tame Impala, Lady. Oh, fuck, what is her name? Lady. God damn it. The bum bum bum. That really popular reggae dance song. Fuck, what is that called? Anyway.
Oh wait, not Rihanna.
No, it's
Wait.
not Rihanna. It's oh my god, this is
I
gonna
don't know.
kill
I'm
me.
just guessing.
I need to fucking say the name of this lady because I love that fucking. Oh, Sister Nancy. That's who it is. Bam bam.
Okay.
Anyway, so I love that that's going on my beach playlist. I love the staccato kind of.
I do
reggae
like
beat.
it, but not as much as like the other ones.
If
Because
you
I
don't-
think it just kind of like it kind of got played out. The more the song got into, like the more you got into the song, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think like when they try to go for like, I mean, if you don't like reggae, that's a lot of reggae's like that. But they also
I do like reggae, but
well, this one like the melody was a little bit more playful, so like that can kind of feel a little bit drawn out the more it goes on. Like you're like, okay, I kind of had enough. You know what I mean? It's very quirky.
yeah. Well,
I like that
honestly,
stuff though.
how did you like their instrumental songs? Because I think those are just excellent.
I love
Like,
yeah, I do like their
Love
instrumental
and
songs.
Love and Liberté. That one was just. I'm like that is just so encapsulating of just like Spanish guitar and just like that. Mwah. Like I just want to pick up like a sword and just put on like the Mask of Zorro and just start like,
Yes, yeah.
fighting and like just rescuing like damsels in distress and like riding horses and
That-
like into the desert. Yeah.
I think that has the most pleasant melody of all the songs in this album, and I love all the string noises and the scrapes and the hand noises that they do in the song. I think it fits they're very good at putting dynamic to their playing, and I think that really comes through. Like I feel like if a guitar player can play something slow and give it so much I don't want to keep saying tone because I'm saying tone all fucking night. It gives it a lot more character, whether it's with an effect or with their hands. I always really appreciate that kind of
Oh
stuff.
right, no, I mean, these words, like even if they're vague, I mean, it doesn't matter because that's exactly what I'm looking for in a.
Well, they're hard to
in music
describe.
and
Like
just
it's
art.
very
yeah, because
it's very nuanced, specific sounds that give you a specific emotion, or it's a very subtle thing that like you can hear, like the way he plays one note just rings out differently than the other ones. So it's like it's very subtle things you can miss. So like I can describe all these vague words and people will listen to it and they're like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" So it's like you really gotta pay attention. And I think, like I said, once you play guitar, and especially for my job, all I do is hear guitar all day. So it takes a lot for me to hear like, oh, that's really interesting the way that note is played. You know what I mean?
right, like you just like notice more things than like the
Yeah,
average person would.
and I love that about music, and I love that when I can hear, especially with genres of music I don't listen to. So it's like I'm always trying to like, what's another band where I love the way they play their instruments specifically. So that one was a good song, and then the one I forgot about, really fucking love is Bambolejo. I fucking say that
Oh yeah,
all
that's
the time.
That's the most
Yeah.
favorite. That's like like everyone knows what that is. Like even if you think even if you think you don't know, like you know this.
You know the song. Yeah, everybody knows this fucking song. But
It's a little overplayed, but it's still awesome.
Yeah, but I
Like,
mean,
you can't go wrong.
overplayed, but it's not it's not on the fucking radio, so you're not gonna hear the song every day.
No, because we live in America.
Exactly.
But-
But yeah, I fucking love, like, who can't like this song?
No, that's like that is just if you don't like that song, I give up. Like I
Yeah.
don't know what impresses you.
You
like,
can't
no,
not
but
like
I
it.
think that's very true of them. As like Gypsy Kings as a whole. Like I think they're very palatable.
What does that mean? What's the song about? I don't even know. I'm very curious to know what this one is.
Bamboleo. Let me look at the lyrics.
Because I always thought it's like
oh.
it's very celebratory. Like you can't not have a good time when you listen to this song. Like I feel like you're
Let me
always
see.
celebrating something when you listen to it. Like you just
Um,
graduated, or you got a car, married. Like it's a very
Ese amor llega así de esta manera. That love arrives like this of that way or of this way.
okay.
It doesn't have fault. No tiene la culpa. Caballo de danza vana. Horse of vain dance.
Nice.
No te perdono llorar. I don't blame you to cry. Like I don't blame that you're crying. Let me see.
Who could ever
like,
blame?
Bamboleo, bamboleo, porque mi vida yo lo prefiero vivir así. Because my life, I prefer to live it like this. So it's like an FU kind of thing.
Okay. I think it's. I guess my celebratory guess could still kind of fit with the lyrics if you take it that way. I remember I used to go to this really cool bar. They sold Mediterranean food and they did open mics, and I played a couple of them. And one of the ones that I watched was a guy. He was like this. I don't know if he's actually from the Northeast, but like he had a cab hat and like wanted to have that persona. Like, yeah, I hung out in jazz clubs or shit like that. Like he just kind of has that vibe. And he tried to cover this song, and he was singing and playing it, and he had a looper pedal, but he didn't practice with it. He didn't know how to fucking work it. So he did the thing where he would play the rhythm of the chords, and then he would stop for a second and then stop the looper pedal, so it would record the stop, and then when he tried to sing and play the lead over top, it would fuck him up because the rhythm kept going off. So he must have started over like 3 times trying to play this fucking song.
Man.
It was so brutal.
And it was this kind of music you were saying?
No, it was Bambaleo. It was this song.
Oh, it was this song?
Yeah, he's trying to play this fucking song.
I think I could do a cover of it because the rhythms, like I mean, I have it down.
Yeah, but you
I
messed
just don't
like
know if I could.
you have a looper pedal, so you know how that works. So it's like I said, he tried to he stopped playing and
no,
then
right,
yeah.
but I was just I mean like just live, like just you playing it and like singing it at the same time.
Oh yeah, I think if you try, would you try to do the lead part too? Like I said, since you have a looper, would you just loop the rhythm and then try to play the lead while you sing?
Well, if I did have a looper, that is what I would do. If I didn't,
I thought you do.
then I would just.
Do you not?
No, I do. But let's say in a context where like I can't bring it, or it's like or just some situation where I don't have it.
I see. You
And
practice without one, so if you had to do it.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could just play the rhythm and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just all around like we were saying. If you don't like this song, I don't know what we're doing. Like you're like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Not a good look, bro.
But yeah, I think that's all the songs that really stood out to me the most. The ones that I enjoyed. I really like this.
I love
yeah.
almost every single song on this though. Like even like the "Escúchame," which means listen to me, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
But it even like despite the things that I don't like about it, it's still like I would listen to it. It's not like I'm gonna turn it off.
It's a good song. I like it. Like I said.
Yeah.
Next time when I'm going to the beach, it's gonna be playing.
Oh, if I'm on the beach, I'm just gonna listen to this whole thing because I
Yeah.
love the vibes of this, and it just makes me want to just be Antonio Banderas and just
Yeah, I hear you.
be the Mask of Zorro.
It's a fucking
Yeah.
good one. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much all my thoughts on the album. I really enjoyed it. It's the same
Oh, and
thing.
did you listen to their version of Hotel California?
I did. I didn't really like it.
Okay. Yeah, I like the normal one by the Eagles better. But
Yeah,
I
think because like they really changed the atmosphere of it. Because like I don't really like that song in general, but I kind of.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Well, so I go back and forth. There, like I hear it all
I
the
love
time
that
because
song,
it plays all
but-
the fucking time here. Even though I try to skip it, but like I like
True.
like it's a good song, and I have to listen to it. Like I said, I have to be really in the mood to listen to that song. But I like sort of the I love the feel of it. But again, it's just I feel like it's overplayed. So I kind of get sick of listening to it.
that is a very good album, though. The whole
yeah.
Hotel California album is really good. It's
not
like
gonna
nice,
lie.
like soft rock.
Not gonna lie, I
kinda
haven't
thing.
really sat and listened to a whole album from them.
It's that's the only whole album I've listened to them because a lot of their other stuff I don't really like that much.
Yeah,
It's just kind of love ballads and stuff like that.
that's fair.
Like the I wanna know what love is.
Oh, I hate that fucking song. I can't.
I want you to show. I didn't even know that was the Eagles until like
I hate that like 80s ballad or 80s power ballad shit, and that's what it sounds like to me. I fucking hate
oh
that
yeah,
song.
and that's what like a lot of their stuff is. But like Hotel
Ah.
California is such a good album.
Were they a 70s band or an 80s band? I don't even remember.
They are 70s.
Okay.
But then I think they bled into the 80s.
I figured, but I didn't know if they started in this because like a lot of their music kind of sounds.
They started in the 70s.
Okay, because yeah, a lot of it's kind of 70s. Like Hotel California is especially 70s inspired.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, I hate that fucking. Oh god, I can't stand that song.
Well, onto the album that like I recommended to you, which is the best of the Gypsy Kings, not best of the not best of the Gypsy Kings. It's the best of the Gypsy Kings.
Oh, what a
for
fucking
anyone
difference.
for anyone wanting to listen to it. Honestly, the worst song in this is just the last track, where it's like that weird remix of like all the different songs. I was like,
Yeah,
what is this?
that was like,
I
people. It's like that'd be played in a club or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
but
really like
like
that one
that's
either.
not even good club music. I wouldn't even.
Yeah, didn't like that one either. I didn't like also the what was the second. So like the not the album, but like the other one besides the cover of Hotel California.
Luna del Fuego.
Yeah, I didn't like that one either. I thought that one had a
Did you
very.
like did you like Farong, which was the other one?
I did, yeah, I
That
like that one.
there's yeah, that one was people do covers of that one all the time. That
Yeah,
one's very famous.
yeah, I like that one a lot too. But yeah, the other one,
And
I didn't like the pacing of it all. I feel like it was very.
it wasn't as sophisticated either.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like it was also the live video and the way they. I don't know if it's the way they played it live. It's just I didn't like it. It just kind
Oh,
of.
you listened to a live recording?
Yeah, I looked it up on YouTube and it was the first one that popped up. I didn't know if it was a music video, but
Oh.
it's like him sitting
Oh,
in
I
a chair
just
and playing it and singing it.
I just listened to like the one that's like, it has the album cover.
Okay.
Maybe
I might have
I
listened.
don't know if it's gonna be that much different, but
I might have listened to the wrong version then, but the one that they played live, I didn't like at all.
okay.
Yeah.
A lot of their songs make really good backing tracks. Ooh man.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Yeah. Yeah, because like when we talk about our favorite bands, we typically just kind of focus on rock or like metal or like English speaking kind of like Anglospheric
Yeah.
rock music and stuff like that. But it's like we never like these kind of bands never really occur to us when we're thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, Gypsy Kings is definitely in like my top 10 or 5.
Well,
You know,
I mean,
for like favorite bands.
I listen to a lot of like there's if there's a country, there's a metal band or a folk kind of a lot of metal bands from different countries. They implement a lot of their home styled folk influence into it. So like
True,
there's a lot
true,
of
yeah.
bands from the Middle East that are like that. There's a lot of like European bands that kind of give sort of that Slavic, not polka, but it's very folksy. And then some people do like the Celtic medieval thing into the mix with it, and also some Spanish inspired. So like there's some bands I listen to that don't speak English. I listen to fucking shit tons of music. My library is intense. Like if there's times where I get overwhelmed, it's like holy fuck, I don't even know what to listen to because there's so much bullshit on here.
That's me, man. Because I mean, I kind of pride myself on the fact that I listen to a shit ton of music, but I mean, I don't know how much music you listen to. Because like I literally, like I said, I'll listen to literally anything. That doesn't necessarily mean I think everything is good, because
Yeah.
that's not. Because anyone who says that is fucking bullshitting themselves.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I think a lot of people don't listen to enough music in other languages, if you know what I'm saying. Because when you listen to something that's not in the language you speak, it just kind of
It's
even
very
puts you
difficult.
into like that. I mean, for me, obviously, and I'm not just referring to Spanish speaking music because I understand all that, but if it's something that I don't understand, like it almost kind of brings me into the vibe more, you know?
I so I so
It
like,
doesn't bother me if I don't understand anything.
it doesn't
'cause
bother
I'm
me
just like,
too. Like I'll listen to enough. I like the sound. I don't care if I don't understand the lyrics because I can just read them. I don't really find lyrics super important in the scope of music. Obviously, I love when I love a song and I love the lyrics. It's like a double-barreled shotgun for me. But
Right.
I don't really have to do that. I understand why it's difficult to listen to a song in another language, especially because a lot of people do focus on the vocals and the lyrics. So especially if they don't play an instrument, that's really what they can gravitate towards. The fact that it's not in English, I can understand why that's hard to grasp. Like
Yeah, and a lot of people have the same thing with like movies and TVs.
yeah,
Like sorry, movies and TV shows that aren't in English. And sometimes like I do understand where you're coming from, or like yeah, I don't feel like reading subtitles. Like I don't feel like doing it.
I don't mind it.
But
I like reading.
I
Subtitles.
don't mind it either. No. But some people they're just like I just don't really feel like doing it. It just kind of gives me a headache, and I'm like, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things like people bitch about it, but then when they just get forced to do it, they'll just not even think about it twice after a while. But
Oh, I agree with you 100%. I'm just saying like I understand where they're coming from.
yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I still think that it's like you need to kind of get into the atmosphere and just listen to whatever the original language was. That's why like I mean, obviously, if something's animated, it's different. Like, I don't mind watching a dubbed anime, especially if it's an anime that is popular
Yeah.
and it has a good English dub, like
Right.
Death Note. Which actually, Death Note, I would recommend actually listening to the English version because it has a bunch of memes and like culture around it that's in the English version. It has like a unique thing to it. If you, I don't, did you watch it in English or Japanese?
I watched both.
Okay. Because I've only seen little bits of it in Japanese.
I don't know. I think it also just depends on what it is. I think if you really like something, it doesn't really matter if it's in English or another language. I think the most important example of that is, have you heard of the band Rammstein?
No.
So they're a German band, and like almost all of their lyrics are in German, and they're super fucking big over here. Like everybody that listens to metal knows who Rammstein is, and it's because a lot of their songs are very simple and catchy. So like even though you don't fucking understand what he's saying, you can really sing along to it because his voice is very deep and like it's very forward placed in the mix, and it's very clear. You can hear all the words, and like German's one of those languages where it's like you can really mimic the words even though you don't know what they're saying, especially because if they're not talking fast and it's in a song context. Because Spanish, you have to do very specific pronunciations, which you have to do too in German, but I feel like it's easier in German to do that especially for people to sing along to it. So there's like when I didn't speak German, I don't fucking remember any of it now, but I would sing along to all the songs and have no fucking clue what they meant.
Yeah, I mean, did you know that that's partially because Spanish only has 5 vowel sounds, and that's it?
Oh, I see.
Whereas in English there's like 14. I think it's insane. Because like look, it'll be like the letter A. You can be like a, like it's ridiculous how many vowel sounds we can make.
Yeah.
Which in most other languages it just doesn't exist. In Spanish it's literally just a, e, I, o, u, and there's no any variation essentially.
So that's why it's more difficult because you have to pronounce them like a very few ways.
Yeah, you have to lock your voice and like you have to just lock yourself in the strict
it's more
sounds, and that's.
Oh, I've noticed. Yeah, it's more of a specific sound because like in English, nobody really gets on you if you say a word a little bit differently. But I feel like in other languages, they really fucking get on you for that.
Yeah, exactly. Because like if you pronounce that's why. Because in English, we are very used to hearing really thick accents and like bad pronunciations of our language, but like in other languages they're just not necessarily used to hearing that. You know?
Yeah.
So like if you pronounce El Dorado like El Dorado, like they literally just like slap you in the face.
Exactly. And that's why I think
El Dorado.
I think German's a little bit easier in that way. I mean, the thing about German is like a lot of their shit, they have super long words, and some of the pronunciation for those words are very specific, and it's difficult.
Yeah,
but
trying to look at that and like sound it out, I'm like, what?
It's fucking crazy. But they don't really have that in their songs, so it's like a lot of the German in their songs is very simple. For that reason, like they're not.
Oh, so, okay.
It's hard to fit like a fucking 5-syllable word in a song. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, that's like, how do you find a rhyme?
Yeah,
you know?
Like a 13-letter song or a 13-letter word doesn't really work well. But I think most of their shit's easy to pronounce.
I have kind of like I wouldn't say funny story necessarily, but when we were in England, my dad loved the fact that we could watch like all of the DVDs and all like the British DVDs we could get at the library, like, and we could rent, they all had like German dubs, so we just watched like tons of movies that we loved just in German. And there were certain movies where I only knew for a little while the German dubbed version of it, like Groundhog Day.
Oh, that's awesome. I
hadn't seen the English version of Groundhog Day till I like got back to America. So.
Dude, that's fucking funny. I'm gonna do that to my kids. I'm gonna just show them classic movies in a different language, and that's what their frame of reference is gonna be.
Yeah. So
like, damn it, it's gonna make you smarter.
Right?
Watch it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Because like, you've seen Groundhog Day, right?
You know what? I don't even think I've seen it all the way through. I've probably like seen like glimpses and pieces of it. I know what it's about, and like I probably know most of the scenes, but I couldn't really tell you if I've seen the whole movie. I have no idea.
Well, okay. So, but do you know the part where the guy's like, "Watch your step over there, it's a doozy."
Oh yeah. It's classic.
Yeah, in German he goes, "Das ist ein Reinfall."
Dude, German is so fucking goofy. I love it.
No, yeah, I know this vicariously. My brother says that Germans are the funniest fucking people on planet Earth.
Which is crazy because they get stereotyped as having no sense of humor.
Yes, no, but my brother says they have a very similar sense of humor as we do, where it's like a lot of irony
Oh yeah.
and a lot of just like stupid, goofy bullshit and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, if you start getting into Rammstein, their fucking antics are hilarious, dude. There's one like every time they do a live. I'm not sure this is every time, but there's times where like he's supposed to do a vocal holdout and he just burps into the microphone for really long.
What the fuck?
Like it's just they do really fucking goofy shit like that.
Oh, that's I bet.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't know about like Gypsy Kings how they are in real life or like what they do with performances or anything. I don't really know much about them.
you know
And I
what's
should
crazy?
learn more.
I get this feeling, and I don't know why I get this feeling, but do you think that they would be like they give? There's some impression that it gives me, and I don't know why, because I love the fucking music, and I think it's very multi-layered. But I feel like the people would be kind of pretentious and kind of dicky in real life. Do you get that feeling too?
Not necessarily,
Huh?
but I guess the more you're saying about it, I'm like, well, it could be that way, and I never really thought about it that way.
Which is crazy because I feel like a lot of people that play this kind of music, like they would have really interesting stories. And I've watched no interviews. I don't know anything about these guys, so they could be completely opposite. But for just no sort of reference going into it and not knowing, it just they give me like for some reason I feel like they would be an asshole to you if you like walked up to them and said what's up. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I don't know why I get that feeling. I just
They don't
do.
look like they're nice dudes. But
Yeah, I've seen pictures. They look nice, but again, they just look like
yeah, no, they just look like the boys. Like I would
Yeah.
love, I would love to just like go chill with them. But then again, you never know because
You never know until you meet somebody.
celebrities.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, I don't know what their persona would be, but I don't know why they gave me that vibe.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, have you ever actually talked to a celebrity?
But I don't know if I've talked to like a celebrity, like a really famous celebrity. I've met like famous
Like,
musicians.
who is the most famous person? Who is the most famous person you've talked to?
Fuck, I don't know. I probably the most relevant famous person, or I guess, on YouTube is there's a YouTube creator called Music Is Win. He does a lot of like guitar reviews and just song structure and a lot of music theory videos. And he did like a music stores in 50 states kind of video where he would travel to one store in each state and like have, basically tell about the shop and do have the owners tell funny stories that happened. So he stopped by our shop and I was really curious because I thought he was going to be an asshole in person, but he's really sweet, and his wife is the one that does all the filming, and she's also very nice. They're very pleasant to talk to.
Nice. Okay.
So he has like millions.
What's this guy called? You said.
His Music Is Win is his YouTube name, and he has a couple million subscribers. So I think he's probably the most.
Oh, so you guys were featured on his channel?
Yeah, this was a couple years ago.
But like, did he have to ask permission or?
I
happened?
don't remember if I think. I don't think we reached out. I think he reached out first. He asked us if he could film a video at our store. I think that's how it went down. I honestly don't remember though, but everything was cordial from the planning to it wasn't forced at all. He just kind of told us what the theme of the video was going to be and then what was going to happen. And then he did exactly that. And that's what the video was. So it was pretty cool. What was I going to say? Musician, I don't know. A lot of like I haven't met anybody from Tool, Deftones, Mastodon, or Gojira. Those guys are pretty big bands. I've met a lot of this like doom metal's not a really prestigious, well not prestigious. It's not a very well known genre, but like I said, they're cult classics, so like they're very well known in that genre. I don't know like numbers wise how many people follow them, but I've met a lot of really like famous musicians from that genre, I would say. But I'm blanking on like the most famous musician I've ever shook hands with. I don't remember. I haven't met that many musicians, honestly. I'll go to.
It doesn't necessarily need to be musician, but like anybody.
I don't think I've met any celebrity that's not a musician. Besides, honestly, I saw. Do you know who the Hodge twins are?
Yes, I do.
I saw those guys at fucking.
They're pretty cool. Yeah.
I saw them at Retro Fitness one time, but I didn't go up to them. I just saw them working out there.
Where is it? That's here.
Yeah, it's here. They're from
here.
They're not. I don't know if they're from Northern, but they're from Virginia. I just don't know where.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, they seem like cool dudes. I'd
Yeah.
love to talk to them.
I would love to talk. I don't know why I didn't go up to him. I just didn't want to bother them because like people were like going up and taking pictures with him, and I was just not that guy. I just didn't want to go up and bother them. Um, I met. I don't know if you ever. Yeah, do you know the show Ink Master?
No.
So it's basically like a tattoo competition show. So my girlfriend's kind of into tattoo, so we went to the DC Tattoo Expo, and they had a lot of people from that show there that I saw. But yeah, nobody really famous I've ever met.
Okay.
Have you?
Well, the most famous person I've ever met is the granddaughter of Emperor Karl of Austria.
Who the fuck is that?
I believe he was the Emperor of Austria during World War One. I think
Oh shit.
he is venerated in the Catholic Church.
You've met a historical person.
Well, his granddaughter.
Granddaughter of a historical person.
Yes, and I spoke to her in German, which was very cool.
Man,
And I have a picture with her.
man, that's the other reason why I wish I could learn a second language is just to talk to people in that language and meet cool ass people.
Right? Yeah, like she was, because we were at the mass where it was like celebrating his feast day, and I could tell it was just such like she was so happy to be there, and know that like we all cared about like this figure and stuff like that, and how we all like honored this man and like his life and his commitment to Jesus and stuff like that, and she
Right,
was just
yeah.
very like moved by that. And I'm sure I made her happy by speaking to her in German.
I'm sure you did. Yeah. People like it's
Yeah.
always flattering when you try to speak, somebody's native language. Because most people
Right.
speak English. Like I don't really feel like they're speaking English. You know what I mean? Because most people speak.
Because that's something you don't have in English. Because it's like,
Yeah.
yes, it's our native language, but it's like if you hear somebody speaking it, it's like whatever. Everyone else speaks it, so like who
Yeah.
cares?
It's crazy.
But it's like
I'm not like I don't like project this onto people, but like I just assume like when I like look at somebody they speak English. I don't know why, or at least a little bit, but like I don't like expect them to. Like I don't like I said I think that they
really,
do.
I mean, if you're in America, you could literally look like anything, and it's like if you speak English, you don't think twice.
Dude, you can look at somebody, they're like, oh, look at this fucking nerd, and then they like speak some goddamn language you don't even know what that is, and like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Just like some like average looking white
Right.
dude, and they just like throw out this weird language, like holy shit, catches me off guard every
Yeah.
time,
They're like actually Central Asian or some weird. They're like from Kazakhstan.
or something like that. Yeah.
Or, oh yeah, speaking of Kazakhstan, another famous person I met who it was actually at that same mass I was talking about for Emperor Karl of Austria. The bishop who gave the mass, Athanasius Snyder. I met him. He's the bishop of somewhere in Kazakhstan, I believe. And he's ethnically German, but he's done most of his like episcopal life in Kazakhstan, but he also spent a good bit of time being a bishop in Brazil, and he speaks like 6 languages.
That's pretty cool.
He speaks like German, Kazakh, Portuguese, French, English, and he knows how to read Spanish, but he doesn't really know how to speak it. And I met him and I spoke to him in Portuguese, and he thought it was like the coolest thing ever. Yeah.
I read a story the other day about a guy, or Jesus Christ, ugh,
Yeah.
fucking voice is killing me. Fuck, it's always embarrassing when you
Jason,
do
get
record.
the fuck off this podcast right now.
God, I love voice cracks.
It's fucking annoying.
Oh my god, I lost my fucking train of thought. Fuck
You'd
that.
think if you're 25 or 19. Oh god damn! I did another one.
I got him.
Oh!
Fucking irony
You'd
caught
think
up to
they'd
you,
be
bitch.
gone by this point. You'd think they'd be gone, but they're not.
Fuck, dude, we're both in it tonight. Oh my god.
Man.
God damn it, I lost my
Inner
fucking.
incel is coming out.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say now. Fuck me. There's an article I read of a guy. He's like a janitor, or not a janitor. He does something specific with like in the cleaning industry, and he like speaks 24 languages fluently. It's fucking nuts.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's like, how do
Dude,
you
if
get
you
to that
can-
level?
Yeah, no, because it is extremely hard to have not only just working knowledge of 24 languages, but to be able to be like actually proficient and fluent in 24 languages is fucking insane.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Like, yeah, because for like even me, I couldn't be. I could maybe be. I'm proficient in 3 languages more or less, but it's like I don't think I could do like a fourth. Trying to maintain a fourth one would be even harder. That I could probably do 4, and then I couldn't do any more. I don't like I could have only have working knowledge of the other ones, or if I wanted to have be proficient in another one, the one of the other ones would have to just kind of go down, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, especially if you don't practice it enough. Like, how much practice can you do to like once you go past learning 4 languages? It's insane to me.
You just have to find people that speak it, and you just have to find contexts in which you can speak it. That's why my Portuguese just isn't as good as my Spanish. Is just because I don't have as much opportunity to speak it.
Right, because not that many people speak Portuguese around here, I would say.
Yeah, and also the people that do speak it out here, the Portuguese they speak is just it's like I speak Brazilian Portuguese, and they speak the continental European Portuguese, which is it's very comparable to like American versus British English.
Oh, I see.
You know, yeah, because like when I speak to the Hispanics here, they tell me that they cannot, even if they speak American English like pretty well, they cannot understand British English for the life of them.
Oh, that's
Like,
pretty funny.
They're like, they're like, what the fuck? Like,
They're
like the way, the patterns, like, what?
You're like, neither can we. It's okay.
Yeah, that's what I try to tell them. I'm like, I don't understand the fucking Brits, anyways, man.
Fucking Brits.
You saw the fucking meme where it was like, if England won the Revolutionary War, and it was like this guy like rapping in like a British accent or something.
Oh,
stupid
yeah.
shit.
I saw that. There's so
And
many
then it was-
things that they saved us from.
Yeah, right. And then there was the other one where it's like King George is just like, it's just like talking to George Washington. He's like, pass the booth, and George Washington's like, nah. And then it's just playing like the bum 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 bum, and it's saying like "F you England" and all that shit.
I do love fucking British memes.
Yep, that's what we can all. That's what all Americans can. That's the one thing we can still bond over is England is really fucking stupid and annoying.
Back-to-back World War champs, baby.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I think it's a good note to end it on. It's getting a little bit dreary for my
and I
eyeballs.
need to wake up early as shit tomorrow for Easter, man.
Oh, that's right. It's gonna be Easter pretty soon.
Yep, and then I have to go right back to work on Monday. Fuck.
Do you think you don't get fucking hammered on Easter?
Yeah, well, yeah, if that's very true. Good thing I don't get hammered for Easter or any fucking thing or any occasion for that matter.
Bro, that'd be so funny if you just showed up fucking like everybody's like quiet at a Catholic mass and you just burst in the door like, woo!
He's risen.
Here's your eggs, and you start fucking lobbing at people.
Right. Well, yeah, this was a good podcast.
Yeah,
It's a lot shorter than the last one. The last one was like pushing 3 hours.
Yeah, I know. I feel like there's no
Man.
need to drag it out if there's no need.
Right, exactly. I think we have said what we needed to say.
Yeah, choose a point.
Fuck, I can't even speak. We have said what we needed to say. Right, that's...
Better stop
God
overhead,
damn
bro.
it.
Voice cracking,
Yeah.
fucking slurring our words. It's time to. We're coming up short.
We're riding the fine line if we could snap at any moment. So,
Exactly.
yep. Well, happy Easter to
Happy Easter,
you, Jason, and
everybody.
to everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye.